What's up guys, and welcome back to another EVE Online video. Today we're about to warp into a perimeter hangar, which is a C2 combat site in J-Space, and I'm in a little alpha friendly Thrasher. So I'm going to enter warp, and as we warp in, going to warp to 100. As we warp in, we're going to create a warp in perch, which we'll just call 1. Which we want on grid but just out of range. So we'll get that sorted. There we go. And now you may be wondering why I've just jumped straight into a site without any intro. Walk back out to the perch. Basically, I want to try and do this site whilst going through the fit and everything whilst running the site. Because I want to keep my videos a little bit shorter but keep all the information we need in there. So I'll talk about the fit and everything in just a second. There we go. Look at, thank you. But first of all, we want to enter warp close. We want to enter the site close to the ships. So I'm going to warp to within 10 of this. So we land on the ships, and the reason for that is the big point of this fit is signature tanking, so we want to spend as little time as possible burning straight at a rat. Yeah, basically. Also, so while I go through everything else, you want to pay attention to how I'm running the site, because the triggers and everything are important, so you want to kill things in the correct order. So I won't detail that too much until later on, so just pay attention while we're talking about other stuff. Obviously we'll get our MTU out now that we're here. Let's start shooting that one. Let's lock these up, and let's bookmark our MTU, and we're well underway. So the thing I'm trying to prove here is that you can run the sites in under 15 minutes, and the proof is going to be in the duration of the video. So hopefully you'll see that this whole video is less than 15 minutes and I won't have skipped anything. So what are we doing? Basically, I am in an alpha friendly Thrasher fit, taking on C2 wormhole combat sites, which I was intrigued whether it was possible. In a previous video I took on a C1 combat site in an alpha friendly Tristan, and someone commented on that with this exact fit, saying this is what they like to run in C2s as part of their corporation. I was really intrigued, super interested, so I picked up the fit and thought I'd give it a go. And honestly, I love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And if you're an alpha or anyone else looking to make some pretty good ISK with relatively low risk in J-Space, then this could be the one. Just by the way, we have to orbit each rat nice and close, because our fall-off range is short and our optimal is even shorter, but also it's part of the signature tanking. If you can keep moving, these guys can't track you, and especially the bigger the ship, the worse they can track. The resists on sleeper profiles, they've got huge resists on the armor and nothing on the structure. So once you break through the armor, the structure melts quite quickly, so you can start burning to the next rat whilst working through the structure. And you'll see me do that throughout the combat site. And also at the end of the wave, we're going to walk back out to our perch, so that again we can realign, warp to the closest point to the largest rat to reduce the time burning straight at them. That's basically the premise here. Otherwise the whole thing works pretty simply. So what we got on the fit, basically, it, as mentioned, a Thrasher. You'll see here, not cheap, but this is partly because of the sleeper loot I've already got, but also because of the shield booster that we've got on here. I went with the fit exactly as it was shared, which is why I've gone for this, and that's why the Pith C-type small shield booster is on here, because that's what was recommended. I am confident, if you've got the right skills, because there shouldn't be problems with fitting, and if you can sig tank well enough. There's no problems with resist. You can see how little I'm getting shot. I am confident you could do this with a Tech 2, so you don't need to put the what is it, 100 million shield booster on if you don't want to. So that'll bring the whole ship down to more like 20 million rather than 120 million. So warping back out to the perch, reload while we do that, and then let's quickly, come on, see where we are. So we're going to warp to here, and we're going to take on the battleship first. Again, important here, the cruisers are the trigger, which is actually really good. It's great for this. So you can go and take on the battleship first, who is your biggest threat, because if he's able to actually hit you a couple of times, his alpha can take you out, and then you can just kind of ignore the rest till you need to. Yeah, so the fit itself, mention the shield booster, but it's a pretty simple fit. We have gone autocannon 2s, 200mm autocannon 2s in the highs, 7 of them, and we're running it with hail ammo to maximize the DPS, which puts us at about 400 DPS with my skills, which is really nice. That's obviously complemented by the gyro stabilizer 2s in the lows, maximizing DPS. And then in the mids, we've just got our afterburner to make sure our signature stays real small. A medium shield extender 2, which does blow our signature a tiny bit, and then our shield booster. And in the rigs, EM, and thermal, Tech 2 reinforcers just to balance out the tank. And that's it. That's all the fit. It's really simple. And but added to that, we also have a energy Nosferatu in the highs, and that just allows us to stay cap stable. If you don't have this running, you will eventually, it takes a long time with my skills, but you will eventually burn through the cap if you keep these running the whole time. If you're able to come in and NOS from the rat you're fighting, that keeps you cap stable. So that's basically all there is to it. And then then we just do this. We warp in, we orbit the rat we want to kill, and start shooting them. This is a battleship we've just melted through with our 400 DPS. We've taken essentially no damage, and we're about to move on to the other awakened escort. I can probably start moving now without breaking my range too heavily. There we go. And then let's immediately just start going on them. The other rats will pull range a little bit, which is a bit frustrating. If they get too far away, just warp out, warp back in on top of them. But when there's only one cruiser rat, you can normally just burn to them. This is a risk. This didn't happen in the last couple of times I've run, but the position of this rat means my orbit path isn't working. And so you can see the incoming hits goes up significantly, and the damage associated with that also goes up significantly. The third wave, let's start burning now because we're melted through the cruiser. MTU's pulling everything in. You'll have noticed me descanning throughout. Hopefully, we are in J space. Make sure you descan. That's very important. Always very important. If you've watched some of my videos in the past, though, you'll know that. And we'll start the slow burn out to them. This is the slowest and most frustrating part, is when the cruiser rats pull enough range when you're killing the battleship. Happens in the final wave as well, because it's another wave with one battleship and 2 cruisers. And you can follow the same pattern. Take out the battleship first. It's the final wave, so there's no triggers, and then go after the cruisers second. So we're just going to take this out. It should happen really quickly. You can see our damage increase greatly as we move into our optimal, by the way. Started at about 70, and now we're up to nearly 400. And yeah, we've got the NOS running, and everything's just nice and smooth at about 40% capacitor. Shield we haven't even blinked. In the third wave, the incoming DPS, they do hit a bit harder, partly because they are in a more awkward position to close in on. So we warp out now. Reload as we're doing it. In the last sight, they were in a more awkward position. This time, they don't look too bad. Where are they? Yeah, not bad at all. So we can warp to this rock within 10, and we should land almost completely on top of them. Once again, we're going after the battleship. Here we go. Right on top. Turn on the rep. Go into orbit. Start going. The awakened escorts will pull range quickly, and there's nothing we can really do about that. We've got to take out the battleship first so that we don't have to close the gap on them. But yeah, they'll pull range, and it's a bit frustrating. The third one will probably be at least 30 kilometers away by the time we get to killing it. The things to mention with the site that we haven't already: it's worth 15.6 million ISK. This is the perimeter hangar. It's 15.6 million. The ship is also perfectly capable of running the perimeter checkpoint. Same tactic. Just double check your triggers and things, but same tactic. Just get up close and orbit with the warp out point. This is 15.6 million. The perimeter checkpoints are 12.9. And we're going to do it in well under 15 minutes. We're currently at 11 for the video. So we'll be well under 15, which means you can earn over 1 million a minute running what could be a 20 million ISK destroyer in a C2, earning 1 million a minute. So we'll be on over 60 million an hour. Pay for the ship 3 times in 1 hour of ratting. Yes, please. Obviously, I'm not running that fit. I've got this is 120 million because of this shield booster. But I did want to give it a fair shot and go with exactly the fit that was shared with me in the comment. Because if I'd run it just with T2 and it failed, I would have been like, this doesn't work, blah blah, and that could have been unfair for the person who sent the fit. But you can see the incoming damage is really not very high. So the little bit of extra rep required that comes in from the shield booster, not necessary if you're piloting it right. And I double checked, and shield booster 2 fits with my skills, fits in here absolutely fine. So check if you can fit it. If you've got lower skills, as you're like if you're an alpha or something and you've got lower skills, you might not be able to, and that might be why we've got the C-type on here. Maybe it's for fitting purposes, but with these skills there's no problems at all. It looks like, yeah, alphas can use Tech 2 rigs, can't they? Yeah. So this is an alpha friendly fit. You can see the awakened escorts are already a long way off. I can start burning to this one now while we kill the last few volleys on the sleepless. But now we've got to go 28 kilometers and just burn out. Again, you could, as mentioned, you could warp out and warp back into this rock, or warp out and warp back into this structure. But at this point, the incoming damage isn't high enough to need to worry about. And we can just burn. It's getting close. I may warp out for the last one just to make sure we stay under the 15-minute mark. But when you're watching this, do bear in mind that we spent the first minute not in the site as well. So if we are just over 15 minutes, bear that in mind. But let's see. Come on, let's take him out nice and fast. Yeah, look, we're now 40k away. So I am going to warp out, warp back in once we've killed this guy, which should not be long. Start approaching now. Chunk through his hull. Warp.
Warp drive active.
Align back in that direction. Look at, we're going to warp here within 20.
Warp drive active.
How close are we? Should have gone at 0. The shape of the asteroid set me off there. Because, look, somehow that is closer than that. Seems unlikely, but it's because of this end of the asteroid here. So it is tipped us over the 15-minute mark for the video, still under 15 minutes for the site, but it has just tipped us over, which I'm sad about. But here you can see, because we've not been able to run the NOS, and we've had these running the whole time, we will eventually run out of cap. But we can turn the NOS on once we're nice close enough, and then this will just bring us gently around to be cap stable again. But that's basically all there is to it, guys. This is the final rat, so we'll kill this off, and then you warp out, walk back into your MTU, scoop, take the loot, and move on to the next one, or leave, depending on what you're doing, and that'll be 15.6 million in the bank. But so yeah, that's the site. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I hope you found it informative. And oh, why have I? No. Pay attention to what you're doing. Don't just burn away from them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll finish the site, and I will see you all in the next one. What I did want to mention, on my next video, I will be doing a giveaway for anyone that can recommend more off-meta wormhole combat ships. So subscribe if you want to take part in that, and stay tuned for the next video where we will talk about that giveaway. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.